¿Qué bueno, mi gente? Aquí su compa Luis Sanchez, the host of Tacobron, and we want to say thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown us in season 2. Thank you guys so much. Now, let's look back at some of my favorite moments, some of your favorite moments on season 2, and let's talk a little bit more about them in this exclusive season 2 favorite moments episode. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know your favorite moment in the comment section down below. Let's get into it with our first episode with Los Austeros de Durango.
Ay, no. Ay, güey.
So, as we were looking to start our first episode of Tacobron in season 2, we wanted to start off with a bang for you guys, and we seen that Austeros de Durango were gonna be in town, and we're like, we wanna have them on the show. But we weren't even ready. Our set wasn't even finished, and so we had to improvise, and we wanted to get the best episode, the first episode for you guys. And sure enough, you know, we improvised, we got it on the video board, and we knocked it out with Los Austeros de Durango. And as you know, it was a major factor in how the rest of the season planned out for Tacobron because they ended up nominating El Fantasma.
¿Quién crees que no
mi primo fantasma.
Jale el viejo.
Que se
Que
jale.
se jale el fantasma para acá.
Según muy perro para el chile, pero a ver, vamos a ver si es cierto.
So this episode was actually the first episode where we had more than one person on the show. As you guys know, in season 1 of Tacobron, it was just one person as the guest of the show. But this time we had the whole group come out for Los Austeros. And honestly, it was pretty cool watching it from a video's perspective because from my perspective, I couldn't really see anybody's reaction. I was just looking straight, looking at the camera, having my own reaction. So when I looked back at the video and I could see all the reactions, it was just a priceless reaction. And honestly, that was a great way to start off the season. Up next, El Malo. He was one of our most anticipated guests. You guys kept asking, where's El Malo? El Malo wants to, you know, we want El Malo on the show and stuff like that. So you guys asked for it and we gave it to you. And honestly, one of my favorite episodes I've probably done. His reaction was priceless. He came in so confident. And honestly, we had that challenge going where whoever drank first had to take another bite or a spoonful of the salsa. And honestly, I was surprised myself because as you guys know, I'm terrible with salsas. So the fact that I lasted and the fact that he lasted so long up until that last salsa, man, that was a good reaction. So another one of my favorite moments from El Malo's episode is where, you know, he finally took the sip of the water or the lemonade and, you know, he went to the bathroom and he's like, I can't. He had to walk out. And so, yeah, let's react to it here because, man, one of my favorite moments.
Please. Eso ni lo corta, güey. Por full line, güey. Let me go, Malo, please.
I was trying to get him to sit down because he was standing up, and I'm like, man. And honestly, this camera angle right here, shout out to El Compa Pedro, el brother del Malo and staff. He's the one that's like, yo, let's get this reaction. And we're like, yeah, he ended up grabbing his phone and he went to go record El Malo in the bathroom and stuff like that. So yeah, it was a big, intense interaction he was going through. I didn't know what to do. El Malo was in the bathroom throwing up, trying to get the salsa out of his mouth, get the taste out of it. But yeah, we were probably waiting like 20 minutes behind the scenes that, you know, we had to wait for him. And then we finally sat back down and I felt bad for El Malo because, you know, he did lose. He had to take a sip of that lemonade and he took a sip of that lemonade first. So, you know, unfortunately, he had to take another spoonful of that salsa, but his team is a real one. Let's look back at one of my other favorite moments, the final moments of the episode, where the rest of his team is eating the salsa like if it was baby food.
There's water right there.
Shout out to El Compa Pascual, El Compa Isma, El Compa Pedro, because, you know, they took a team for El Malo. You know, ya no podía with the salsa, so they tried it for him, and honestly, their reaction was priceless. I was just right there looking at them, and he was just getting red. You could hear him hiccuping on the side and stuff like that, as you see right there.
Oh, shit.
And El Malo was having a good time. He was like, man, he's like, I'm gonna put him through what I just went through and stuff like that.
Oh, my God.
And honestly, El Compa Pascual, shout out to him because he probably had like 5 spoonfuls of the salsa. So I don't know how his stomach was the next day or that following night. But yeah, shout out to El Malo and his team. That was episode 2 of Tacobron. Going into episode 3, all the way from North Carolina, we had Los Primos del Este.
That's the one. Oh. That's the one, Papa. I don't want to try the next one. Oh, we're tapping out.
Woo! Man, you guys, episode 3 with Los Primos del Este. Man, that was probably one of the most intense episodes we shot all of season 2. From me throwing up to them singing Bien Enchilados, it was probably one of my favorite episodes. I know I said El Malo's episode was my favorite episodes, but this one takes the cake.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
So as we know, I threw up on the camera. You know, I couldn't, you know, I was just chugging the lemonade, chugging the water, because I couldn't. The salsas were too spicy for me. You know, I was still building up my metabolism to have that rock hard stomach that I have now. So yeah, as I knew, I felt it like I was getting ready to throw up. So I pointed to one of my camera guys, shout out to my compa Leo. I told him, I'm like, Leo, give me the bag. And he's looking at me like, why? I'm like, bro, give me the bag. I'm about to throw up like right now. And he finally gives me the bag and I grab it. And I just like, as soon as I put my mouth on like the bag, it came out like exorcist style. But yeah, and then honestly, my bad to Los Primos. They got pretty grossed out. They got up and they cleared out the way. But yeah, honestly, it came out so fast. Like I just put the bag down and I was like, all right, continuing, let's move on. Like I just pretend like it didn't even happen. Shout out to Los Primos Celeste for continuing with that, because if that was me, if I was on somebody's show and I threw and the host threw up, I would have walked out. So episode 4 with El Compa Marito Aguilar. That honestly was a crazy episode too. Honestly, when he brought in his accordion and he was playing, honestly, I was amazed himself. You know, I've seen Marito live, but when I was sitting in front of him and he was just going into the zone, playing the accordion, it was really cool to seeing his reaction to when he was spiced out and he took another bite of the chile. And man, another good episode right there with Marito.
Dale, guys.
Digo, para que sienta algo, ¿no?
So after the show, we wanted to invite Marito and his group to come on and try the show, but we had a little challenge for them. We're like, play us one of your new songs and you guys gotta try and sing it and play it while having the spicy salsa in your mouths. One of the funniest things after they finished playing was that Marito was trying to get the spice out of his mouth. So he's looking at the table that we had where we had all the stuff. You know, he drank his lemonade, he drank the water, and he finally found a taco that he thought he had plain that was left over from the show. He took a bite out of it and come to find out that taco had one of the spiciest salsas in it.
¿Tú tienes chile, dale?
What the fuck?
Mames, que tenía chile, güey. No mames. Ah.
Episode 5 of Tacobron. This is our halfway point, and we had Chile Michui Garcia de los Huracanes del Norte.
¡A la madre! No, con razón dicen está cabrón.
One of my favorite moments from the episode was when he almost started to cry, but you know, he had that reaction where he's like, man, he was bien enchilado. So I finally got to say, no más no chile Michui. That was, you know, very iconic, because as you know, in the music of Los Huracanes del Norte, that's a very famous quote of theirs.
Ay, cabrón, espérame. Está con...
No más no chille, mi chuy.
Ay, juela, llega. Oye.
Episode 6 with El Fantasma. Probably one of the craziest build-ups to an episode you ever had. As you know, we had Los Austeros, you know, nominate El Fantasma to come onto the show. And sure enough, with the help of you guys, we got the attention of El Fantasma. And, you know, he knew the show was going to happen, but now we just had to, like, get in contact with him and see how we were going to make it happen.
Eso sí estaba interesante, mi pa.
Me lleva la verga.
So El Fantasma was here for the weekend, and we shot the episode on a Friday, but on Thursday, however, he was here practicing with his group, his banda, his mariachi, getting ready for his concert on Saturday. So I got a text saying, Luis, El Fantasma's here at the studio. You got to pull up and try and get him, you know, talk to him and get an interview on Tacobron. So I pulled up and, you know, I didn't want to be rude, so I waited for him to finish. You know, I think I waited like probably 5 hours. And then finally, when he was getting ready to leave, it was about 3 in the morning and he was leaving the room. And I stopped him. I was like, hey, I'm the guy who, you know, tagged you and Los Austeros nominated you to come on to Tacobron. Are you down to do it? He's like, you're that guy. He's like, yeah. He's like, let's do it. And he's like, let's do it right now. I was like, right now? I'm like, it's 3:30 in the morning. Like, our set wasn't even finished. It was still like in the works still. And honestly, you know, it was a really crazy moment, but I was like, I'm like, let's not do it right now. I'm like, we're not even ready. I'm like, I don't even know where we're gonna get tacos from. I'm like, probably gonna have to get it from Taco Bell or something like that. But I was like, let's do it tomorrow. I'm like, are you gonna be here tomorrow? And he's like, yeah, we'll do it tomorrow. So then Friday came, and honestly, we waited for him to finish practicing and stuff like that. And once he finished, it was about probably like 11:30. And honestly, I'm surprised the food stood that warm because I picked it up like at 9. And honestly, it was a late episode. We filmed it at around midnight, 12:30, 1 in the morning. So that's why you kind of see our reactions like kind of droopy a little bit, because we were kind of tired. He was tired after singing for a little bit and practicing, and I was tired, you know, because I was waiting for him. The anticipation was there. But yeah, honestly, a great episode in my opinion. Episode 7 with Brian from Alta Autoridad. So, you know, Brian also came in pretty confident into the episode. You know, I asked him, you know, how good are you with spicy food? You know, the famous quote that I ask everyone before we start the show. And he's like, I'm pretty good. But man, once we got to that 4 salsa, it really, really knocked him out. And he's like, man, I can't do it. He's like, rajo. let's play that clip.
¿Cómo va este rollo, entonces?
No, está apoyada, verga.
Alrighty.
So, we still got 2 more tacos left to go. Are you ready to continue?
I can't continue.
The questions get spicier. So yeah, he actually called in one of his bandmates to come tap in for him. And honestly, I was like, come on, you got this. That was already one of the spicy salsas. I'm like, you only got 2 more? Let's finish this. And I finally got him to do it because I was like, hey, if you don't finish this right now, you're gonna be the first person on Tacobron that never finished the show. Episode 8 with Grupo Viada.
How the fuck did I get myself into this situation?
So a funny story about the ending of this episode, Viala had to leave as soon as we finished because they had to catch their flight to go back to California. And honestly, I'm kind of worried on how their stomachs were because they had a priceless reaction to on one of our panels. So their faces were all red and everything like that. So I wonder how the plane ride was, how their stomachs were during that plane ride. So yeah, it was such a great time sitting down with the guys from Grupo Viada. I hope we can do something in the future, or maybe I'll go to California, maybe we do some movement out there. Stay tuned on that. Episode 9, Los Elegantes de Jerez. This one was pretty funny too, because honestly, they didn't know what they were coming in, so I had to get in contact with their cousin, Saludos to compa Jonathan. Me and him are the ones that kind of planned it. They were kind of just here thinking it was a normal podcast, and when they found out, oh, we're gonna eat some tacos with some salsas, okay, no biggie. But man, once we got into like I said, that middle portion of Tacobron, they've really found out why we call it Tacobron.
¿Y esa no es la más enchilosa?
Todavía falta uno, primo.
No mames, güey.
Me da alergia, güey.
Tómale, primo.
De los que ven la entrevista y me conozcan para saber que yo no como nada de picante, güey.
A ver, enséñale los ojos.
Pues.
One of my favorite moments from this episode was compa Osvaldo sitting next to me on my left-hand side on how he said that he didn't like the taste of hot sauce. He didn't mind the flavor and how it was spicy, but he just didn't like the flavors of it. So when we kept tempting him to just try a little bit, he finally tried it and he almost threw it all up. He had a bag next to him, thankfully. Now he would have thrown up all over the floor. But yeah, me and the other guys from Los Elegantes, we had a priceless reaction. We were having a good time. We were laughing at him. Yeah, such a good time con los amigos de Los Elegantes de Jerez.
No mames.
Okay. And now we approach the season finale of Tacobron with Grupo Cisma.
Tómale, mi compa Iván, tómale. Drink it.
Ya.
Oh, okay.
I was waiting for them.
Sitting down with the guys from Grupo Cisma, and they finally came back as a group here in the Chicagoland area. It was a pretty crazy, reaction, because as I look to my left, I see el compa Ivan. Once we have that spicy salsa, and the confidence level was there. He's sweating down. I look at my compa Miguelon. Before we all took a bite out of it, he dipped the taco into the cup, like if it was a cup of ranch, and he had a wing in his hand, and he was, getting all up in there. He took a bite out of it, and then he sucked his thumb, and he's like, oh man, what did I just get myself into?
No.
I need to drink something.
A la verga, güey.
Go ahead, but you're gonna take another bite?
Bro, what the? No, ya la otra ni verga. Nah, la verga.
And as we approach the final moments of the episode, we decided we had to end the show off with a bang, and we pulled out one of our discontinued sauces because it was so spicy for consumption. So we pulled it out, we tried it, and you guys can see our reaction right here.
Ending off with a bang. Mi compa Iván no se raja para nada.
Ahora sí. Puta madre.
Hijo de su madre, güey.
Fuck. Oh, shit. That shit's good. Oh, fuck.
And now we approach our bonus spicy episode with Eslabón Armado. All right, and then we also want you guys to play along. All right, who you guys think is gonna tap off first? You think?
Ulises.
All right, so yeah, honestly, my heart dropped, you guys, because Brian went to the bathroom, Pedro went to the bathroom, my compa Ulysses went to the bathroom. But shout out to my compa Damien. He stood by my side right there. No se rajó para nada. He was spiced out, but he lasted right there with me. And shout out to a compa Damien from Eslabón because me and him, we thugged it out until the end, and we finally finished the episode. But you guys let me know, does this count as a win or a loss for Eslabón? Because only one person of them finished it. So let me know in the comment section.
Damn,
That was hard.
fuck, bro.
Hell yeah, bro.
Oh, my stomach is.
Yeah, my stomach feels crazy right now.
Shit, bro.
Alright, you guys, that's gonna wrap it up for some of my favorite moments and some of your favorite moments of season 2 of Tacobron. Thank you guys for all the support you guys have shown us this season, and get ready because season 3 is gonna be bigger and better than ever. Aquí su compa Luis Sánchez de Tacobron, and we'll see you guys in season 3 of Tacobron.